Hello there and welcome to my devlog series. In this series, I am going to create a game and you can watch me struggle. The game I am going to make is a cultured hostel management sim after an old Newgrounds classic that I played almost 20 years ago. I feel old now. Anyway, it's going to be a cultured game because I am Loot Garlic and not Wholesome Garlic, and I need to stick to my brand. It's going to be created in Godot 4, and it will use my favorite stable diffusion model, Confetti Mix, that you know from my other videos. If you're a bit disappointed that I'm using AI art for this game, don't worry. We are going to put a lot of manual effort into fixing the AI artworks so that they look very good, very clean, and you know from my other content that I am not one of those that will leave you with 4 or 6 fingers, etc. So they will look good, I promise. Also, I am going to implement my own homebrew Live 2D version, which is currently talking to you. It's not actual Live 2D, it's just a thing I coded in Godot 4. So all you see on screen is done in Godot, and there's no external software used in making this character move. And we will implement this system into this game and obviously change the art and change the animations, etc. to have animated characters. Awesome. But this is YouTube. I need to do some adjustments. So we are going to replace the word for the building we are going to manage with onsen, hot spring, because that is what it is. It's going to be a hot spring management game. We will replace the dreaded 3-letter word with cuddle, because that's cute and will lead to some memorable lines. We will replace the word that is all the rage in isekai anime these days with the word intern, because social commentary. And obviously, if we are going to employ people that will do a cuddling for money, then we will call them cuddle suppliers. Actually, let's just use the word servant. Yeah, this is just too ridiculous. There will be no live streams, just VODs, because I am a filthy German and English is not my native language, and I am not comfortable streaming live, because I don't want you to sit through hours of me erming and finding the right words. And the VODs will only show safe for work content, obviously. And when I have to create not safe for work artwork, then this will happen off screen. So let's talk a bit about the design philosophy behind this game. First of all, I hate cultured games that have gameplay as an afterthought. So gameplay first, cultured second is my main principle here. The game should be fun even without the cultured content. Which is important because I am also going to implement an optional safe for work toggle to make the game streamable on Twitch or YouTube. So this toggle will be a thing that I will keep in mind right from the beginning, so that the game won't feel broken when you enable this toggle. So all not safe for work art, when you click this toggle, will be replaced with variants that are actually safe for work. So it will not like a missing picture, but no, you will actually get different art with this toggle. It's going to be a roguelite in design, which means we have short play sessions, which I aim to be around 2 hours with an auto-saving feature. And after 2 hours, you are mostly through with the game and you can start a new session. This session will be randomized again, just like the first. But there will be some little bit of consistency and permanence in rewards that carries over between game sessions. So we get achievements, and the achievement rewards will affect the gameplay and will carry over in your next run. So we also need to make sure that the achievements are visible to the player so that the player knows what he has to do to unlock the content. Also, the game will be mostly sandbox, so you can do all the content at any time you want, with varying degree of success, of course. We want to avoid repetitive micromanagement in this game. This is something that some old management games often struggle with. We don't want dead content. So whenever I create something in this game, I want to ask the question, what is the purpose of this content? And if I can't answer that clearly, then I'm not going to implement it. We want a simple UI with cleanliness in mind right from the get-go. We don't want content spam. So some things that some games I played struggle with was that eventually you get so many characters that it's getting completely overwhelming, and I don't want this for this game. I want more or less an exclusive small group of characters that you can accumulate in the play session, and you always have them as actual characters and not just stat sticks with different numbers. So they should all feel unique and different enough from each other that they actually qualify as a character. And we also want replayability. And with that, I mean that achievement rewards should be so impactful that it actually changes the way that you can play the game if you want so. Okay, so how is this game going to work? Just for your information, I am going to skip over parts of this presentation from now on, simply because I don't want to go into a lengthy detail about every single design decision in my game plan. If you're interested in the details, you can stop the video at any time and read through the bullet points. I will only do some general explanation so you can know what to expect from this game. So let's get started. The general idea is that the player is a hot spring hostel owner that got isekai'd into a fantasy world, and he is tasked to make this hot spring flourish and basically live a life in this world. Then you will have customers that will visit the hot spring, and you can hire servant girls to serve these customers. You can level up these servants, and you can upgrade the building with the money you get from the customers. And the win condition of this game is to raise the renown stat of the hot spring. And yeah, that's basically the general idea. The next part is going to be some details on the game mechanics. Again, I'm going to skip some parts here and just give you a general overview. First of all, servants have a rank, stats, and traits. The rank is basically the character level. So they gain XP and you can up the rank. And you unlock new character traits, artwork, stats, jobs through these character levels. So every level is meant to be meaningful. So this is why we only have like 6 levels. Then there are stats. They follow the Dungeons & Dragons standard of a 1 to 25 range. And they are supposed to be more or less static, but you can raise them within a small window. And with level ups, you can also put a few points into some stats. There are 5 stats: charisma, endurance, knowledge, service, and cuddling. and yeah, they are pretty self-explanatory in my opinion. There are character traits. Basically, these traits define how the gameplay with this character works. Customer traits are traits that are requested by customers, and you match the girl having these traits with a customer, and you get more money and renown out of serving this customer if they match. And then there are functional traits, which are basically skills. And there are some examples here about these functional traits, like the origin, which is going to be like citizen, or the intern. And there are racial traits and character-specific traits, etc. Customers are randomly generated. How many customers you get is decided by the renown stat that we talked about. And customers demand either character traits or stats, and your job is it to match your servants with these customers in the most efficient way possible. This is a management game, so it's about optimization. There are some extra details here. I'm going to skip over those. And there are different types of customers that lead to some mini events. So there will be some small visual novel parts in this game as well, just to give it a little bit of flavor. And there will also be some multiple choice decisions every now and then. Then there's the stamina mechanic, which is basically the resource you are going to manage the most. So every character has stamina, which works basically as an action limit. Get refilled every day. And most of the things that the characters can do consume stamina. Which brings me to the main gameplay loop. You essentially press the next day button, some customers arrive, you spend your stamina of your servants, and depending on how well you spend your stamina, you get renown, you get money, and you get maybe items and stuff. And with money and renown, you can get more servants, more customers, etc., and the loop continues. This will happen like 60 times, which is basically the turn limit in this game, and at 1 or 2 minutes per turn, this leads to a gameplay session between 1 and 2 hours, which is what we are aiming for. There are different jobs, so it's not just serving customers, but there are also other positions, because a management game needs some side activities. Again, you can read this if you're interested in the details. I'm going to skip to the next part. There's also an adventuring job, so there's like some mini RPG element in this game too. That provides some extra bonuses, items, you can find characters there, etc. The next part I'm going to talk about is persistence. I already talked about this when talking about the roguelite elements. There will be some rewards that carry over between game sessions. So after finishing a game session, you get victory points, and these victory points can be spent in some kind of shop where you can unlock new gameplay features or new characters or bonuses, etc. You also get some extra points for fulfilling achievements. And the last point I'm going to talk about is replayability. I want this game to be at least replayable like 2 or 3 times and still being interesting. So I am going to add some flavor to allow this to work. First of all, achievements designed in a way that encourage players to try out different playstyles and do some wacky shit. And there's also going to be a male and female main character option. So at least for these two options, you might want to play this game at least twice. Okay, so for the next part, I'm going to show you some example characters so you know how the art is going to look like and what you can expect from the character design. Again, I'm not going into details here. You could read through it if you want. So the first character is going to be Mikisa. And Mikisa is an intern. So she needs a dorm room. So you actually need to upgrade your hot spring to have a room for her, which is a trait that all the interns share. And obviously she's a feline. And felines have a racial feature that all the felines share. She has a special trait that is only be used when used as an assistant. She has a special trait that is unique to this character. And she has some descriptive traits that can be matched with the customers. My second example character is Rin. Rin is a citizen, so unlike the first character I talked about, she does not need a dorm room because she lives in a town and she's basically a free employee. So she requires daily pay, unlike the intern character. And she will also reject some customers. She is a fox girl, which has some properties and traits that go along with it. And she is basically a character that is designed around giving you a little bit more income and being a little bit more efficient with the money you spend. So she, for example, gives some discounts on the hot spring upgrade carpenter. Then there's going to be a male player character that you can select, just with some caveats, because the male character cannot serve customers, but he can do everything else in the game. So you can go adventuring with him, you can make him do some side activities, etc. And then going to be some bonuses that only the male character has that make up for the fact that he cannot serve customers. And also, last but not least, you can have a female main character, and the female main character can serve customers and also has some traits that go along with it, etc. So let's wrap this video up with the minimum viable product. So this is what we are going to create first. The idea is that we get a gameplay loop working as soon as possible. So what do we need for this? First of all, we need the main screen that allows the player to match customers with servants. We need an example character with placeholder art and customer traits. We need a placeholder request trait, obviously, that we can attach to the customers and the servants. We need the next day button to allow the loop to continue. We need the stamina mechanic. We need the stats for renown and money. And we need a simple pop-up screen when serving a customer. And with these 7 things, the main gameplay loop is already functioning. Obviously, there will be some features missing with just these 7 pieces, but this is something we can add later. And I want this game to be playable within a reasonable time frame. So I don't expect this to take longer than just maybe 1 or 2 days. Okay, so we are at the end of this video. I hope you liked it. And I am welcoming you again on the second video, where we will actually start working on this game, opening Godot and coding the main screen. All right. See you again.